What's up, what's up? I am so happy you're joining me for this special webcast presentation. Listen, if you're here right now, I want to be really clear to make sure the right people are watching. If you have a desire to generate a side income, start something new, protect yourself on the way down as the economy shifts, this is the right place you need to be tonight. And I want to say this. I don't care if you've never thought about real estate. I don't care if you've tried real estate and failed. Heck, I don't even care if you're skeptical about real estate. You're gonna wanna watch every bit of this all the way to the end and see something that maybe you've never seen in your life. Because here's what I know, listen, I know there's some of you watching right now that don't care anything about real estate. Maybe I just met you at Traffic and Conversion or Funnel Hacking Live, or you just found me online, or you read Millionaire Success Habits. That's okay. Have fun with us tonight. Stay here all the way to the end. But if you do desire another level to protect yourself, and I'm going to talk about that. It's a big deal. The economy has shifted. The real estate market has turned. If you're ready to learn a strategy that crushed it for me in 2007, you might not even be old enough to remember 2007 and how things went. And if you do, you remember the pain most people experience. The fact of the matter is I thrived in the last down market because I was prepared. And that's why I decided to go live last minute. Listen, I've been on the road non-stop. Literally nonstop at live events. I spoke yesterday 3 different times at a live event. I've been going all over. I just told my team, let's go live, because it's like, I want to give like a State of the Union address, because those that are prepared for the shift can crush it on the way down, and those that aren't get scared, play small. And what are you going to do? Wait 10 years to come back? So a couple of things I want you to know. Stay all the way to the end, because I'm giving away a cool prize at the end. But that's not why you should stay. You should stay because you want to learn a new capability, a new strategy, a new opportunity, and I'm so excited. Yes, I do a lot of things, but real estate was the thing that got me to that next level of life. When I was broker than broke in my 20s, it was real estate. In fact, I want to show you something real fast. Before I get into real estate, could you, I hit the wrong thing here. Could you do me a favor, Mike, pull that picture up. Is that up on the screen? Okay, you guys, you see that barn? That's the barn that I literally worked out of. That picture was only from like a year and a half ago. But I worked out of that barn when I was in my 20s. I had a collision shop with my dad. My dad went through a tough time, lost it, and I moved my tools. I moved a compressor, and I literally worked on one car at a time out of that garage. But the only people I saw in my town that were making money were in real estate. And I went after real estate really hard. And Mike, do you have a picture of my house right now? I want to show you this, guys. You got to see this. I really want to inspire you right now, not brag. I want to inspire you. If you get that to play, Mike, let me know when it's playing. What's that? It's playing right now? Okay, I can't see it. So you let me know. Okay, I'm sharing this for a reason. That's where I worked out of that barn I showed you. That is my house that I live in right now. And did I get all of that house overnight because of real estate? And the answer is no. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I do a lot of things. I have high-level masterminds. I have multiple New York Times best-selling books. Millionaire Success Habits just passed 500,000 copies. The book is on fire. I have coaching programs. I have a partnership with Tony Robbins, a partnership with Brendan Burchard. I coach on sales and marketing. I do lots of things. True story. So if you think I'm saying I got all that, all the wealth, generate hundreds of millions of dollars because of real estate, I'd be lying. But guess what? I became a millionaire because of real estate. In my 20s, all it was real estate. And I learned that was the key. That was the core to my success. I went on to do lots of other things, but I still own hundreds of houses right this very minute. So with that said, I wanted to just really get your attention by showing you where I went from to where I am now. And it was all because of real estate. And now we're at this time in history. In fact, I'm going to have Mike pull this up in a second. We're at this time in history once again, just like 2007. And I'm taking a moment to get in here because I want everybody immersed in this. It's just like 2007 all over again. The economy has turned. The real estate market has absolutely crested. Mike, can you pull this up right now, this article from CNBC? It says U.S. existing home sales tumble to 3-year low. Now, you could take that off, Mike. You're going to start seeing them happen over and over again. The media is going to start seeing it. And then all of a sudden the momentum begins and people get really scared. Tonight, why you're here is because you're gonna learn the strategy, the only real estate strategy, fix and flip on the way down, nightmare. You buy here, you're gonna sell down here, buy and hold, you're spending too much, you can't. The strategy I'm gonna share tonight is what allowed me to thrive the last time the market crashed. And I'm gonna bring on a guest tonight that I believe is the absolute best on the planet at this strategy. Right now, he's the #1 guy doing it in Arizona. He is crushing it, and he's gonna be here and share how you could do the same exact thing. But before we do, I wanna disclaim a couple of things. First off, if you think you can get rich overnight, I'm not your guy. If you think you don't have to do much, hit a few keypads on your computer, I like disclaiming this, I do, because I know it takes work, but if you know anything about me, you know my values, you know what I stand for, you read my book, you know I give you the exact process on how to do it, but you have to go do it. I'll motivate you, I'll inspire you, I'll go on Instagram every day to push you, but you have to take the action. But if you're sick of everybody telling you there's overnight magic money machines, that you can get rich on Shopify in 37 seconds, you can become a life coach and make 6 figures in 6 weeks, how is that working out for you? How about being involved in an industry that's been around forever, real estate, during the perfect time when it's gonna crash, with a strategy that is designed to crush it during those times? You see, it doesn't really matter where you are in life. I promise you I've been there. It's really awesome to show you my house, and I feel blessed, and I'm proud of that house. I used to drive by houses like that and just dream and wonder, what the hell did people do to live in a place like that? Yes, it's really cool to share where I'm at now. I get to make impact, touch the lives of millions of people, be partners with Tony Robbins and all these great people. But there was time I just had envy and jealousy of people getting ahead. There was a time I drove a tow truck at night, and I'd see somebody go by in a Mercedes, and I'd be like, wow, what are they doing? Why can't I do that? And painting cars during the day with headaches because of the fumes getting underneath the mask. I know what that's like, and I also know what it's like to get to 100 grand a year. And I know what it's like to get to 100 grand a month, and I know what it's like to get to 100 grand a week, and even 100 grand a day. Between all my companies, not just real estate, but real estate was a huge part of it. It was absolutely the foundation. But before I bring in my special guest, before I share this strategy, I want to talk a little bit about money. Because I think money is one of those things that it's almost like we don't have the best relationship with money. It's like people tell you shouldn't crave it, you shouldn't want more of it, but simultaneously it's the thing you need to live another level of life. So let me share a few myths. One of the myths is that money doesn't solve problems. It's like money doesn't buy happiness. Did you ever hear that before? I want you to think about that. Money doesn't buy happiness. If you could cut a check for bills that you have that stress you out, is that buying happiness? If you could solve problems for your family that are struggling and don't have the money, retire your parents, put some money away for your kids, let your husband or your wife get out of a job that's killing them, does that solve problems? Dan Sullivan, someone I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to coach me, said it best. If you can cut a check for a problem, you no longer have that problem. I really want you to think about what in your life right now could be solved by cutting a check for it. You don't have to go buy the Lamborghini and the fancy watches and do all those things. Just imagine the peace of mind of knowing that a check could solve those problems. That is the type of thing that money can do. And here's the other big myth about money that I hate when people say is that people feel if you make money, you're taking it away from someone else. That's a really common thing. I think that's a really common thing among a younger generation right now. Like you're greedy if you want it. No, when you make money, you hire people to clean your houses. You hire people to mow your lawn. You hire more employees in your company. You go out to dinner more. You spend it. You flourish the economy. You want to fix the economy in your neighborhood, in your town, you spend more money. That's the way it works. And here's the last one I want you to think about. Yes, and I'm priming you. I want you to really think about this because I want you to go for this. I don't want you to dabble. I don't want you to think about this. I want you to go for it. I want you to think about this. Does money make you a better version of yourself? Think about that. Does money make you a better version of yourself? And for me, I can only look through my own experience. And you can, if you're in the audience, I could get you to raise your hand. But for me, I have a natural path. that takes care of me on a quarterly and monthly basis. I have vitamin B shots, and I check my blood quarterly so I can be in the best shape of my life. I have a personal trainer to help me work out. I feel like I'm 50 this year. I'm in the best shape of my life. I have a nutritionist who helps me out. Okay, that's one part that money solves the problems, makes me a better version of me. I also get to coach Little League. I get to coach softball. I get to pick my kids up every day at 3 o'clock when I want to pick them up. That makes me a better version of me. I attend masterminds. I go to trainings. I go to live events. I get to read books when time is open for me to be a better version of me. I interview people on how to be a better dad. I've interviewed over 50 dads. My guest coming on is one of them. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better man in my relationship. I want to be in the best shape of my life so my kids see it. Money has allowed me to be a better version of me. I literally pay for counseling. I go to counseling on a monthly and weekly basis, 2 different counselors, one every month, one every week, to be a better dad, to be a better educator, to be a better human, to be better in relationships. So money does solve problems. And think about this. Did you know, according to NBC, finances are the #1 leading cause of divorce. About 76%, if I remember right, 76% of Americans admit the significant and #1 source of stress in their life is money. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I don't want you to feel bad for being here right now with me, wanting to make more money. And listen, I hope what I share tonight is the way you choose, but I don't care if this is it. What I want to do is inspire you to say, yes, if I get money out of the way, I could solve those problems. I could stop with the fights. I could stop with the stress. I could impact. I could take care of my family. I retired both my parents when I was in my 20s. It was the greatest feeling in the world. I'm 50. I still talk about it. And my parents are both still alive, and I send them both checks every single week of their lives. So what about you? What's in it for you? What could be the benefit of getting money out of the way for you? Okay, so now let's get to some real estate. Because if I was you, I'd be saying, okay, Dean, I get it. I want to make more money. How the heck do I do it? How we're going to do that is through the shift in the real estate market and using a strategy where you're going to match buyers and sellers. Maybe you've heard it. If you're in real estate, maybe you've heard of wholesaling. In fact, I want to share something with you. In 2006, I wrote a book called Be a Real Estate Millionaire. And most investors, the next 4 or 5 years, most educators either went out of business or shrunk in size. From 2007 to 2010, my business about tripled. I wrote a book called Be a Real Estate Millionaire. It sold 1 million copies. I helped make wholesaling popular way back then. I didn't invent wholesaling. And I'm going to share what that means, matching a buyer and a seller. It's without using any of your own money. You're not fixing and flipping. You're not borrowing money from the bank. In fact, you're not even taking ownership of the property. But I made it popular back then. I thrived. My company went nuts. I put all my competitors out of business because they were training the old way. They were teaching people how to fix and flip when it wasn't time. They were teaching people how to buy and hold when it wasn't time. I taught them how to profit on the way down, and it really put me on the map as the #1 real estate educator on the planet. I got 30 years in real estate, and that changed everything for me. But guess what? The economy turned, and it went back up, and it was time for different strategies. And now it's time again. It's time when the shift happens that there's only one strategy. In fact, I'm going to go to the whiteboard really quick, and then I'm going to bring my special guest up here to really anchor this in for you. All right, let's see. You got this, Johnny? You following me? All right, so let's look at, can we turn the air conditioner on here? It's a little hot. Okay, you guys ready? All right, so this, Johnny, make sure that, is there a glare on there? Is it okay? Okay, so let's just say this is 2007, and this is 2012. This is the real estate market. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. Let's say this is 2019, okay? It's been going up and down since the beginning of real estate market, since the beginning of time. And I've been watching this. This is my 3rd cycle. So I know this better than anyone because I've been in real estate since I was 17. I've been an educator for over 20 years. I watch these cycles obsessively. And here's the thing. If you want to fix and flip, and you buy here, and it takes you 150 days, say, to get it done, you're getting the benefit of the market going up, while simultaneously you may have bought it cheaper and you did it right and you followed a strategy, you profit. But what if you buy a fix and flip here and sell it here? What happens? You lose money. What if you want to do buy and holds and you buy a property here for $100,000 and then all of a sudden you hold it and 5 years later it's worth 50, which is exactly what happened to me on some properties back then. So the point of this is, if you know anything about real estate or nothing at all, you've watched the fix and flip shows. Fix and flips work really good on the way up. They really do. We teach you how to buy below the bottom, fix it and flip it. Great, lots of people wanting to buy. Buy and hold works great because you buy at a discount, the value's going up, rents are on fire. But once it turns, there's only one strategy. And in the simplest way I could share, and I'm going to go over in a moment here, the old way to invest in real estate that used to work and the new way. And that's going to be the revolutionary shift that you're going to see. That's going to be the thing where the lights go off and you go, oh my God, I'm so glad. I wasn't even sure I was going to watch Dean on this webcast. I didn't know if it was real estate. This could be for me. Because here's the thing. The whole strategy of wholesaling is matching a buyer, a seller of a house, so this is the seller, with I'm going to draw a little thing here with dollar signs, with a cash buyer. You're matching a house with a cash buyer, and you're making money in the middle. So how does that work in a down market? You see, you're going to learn some unique marketing strategies to find deals cheaper than anyone else can. When you wholesale, when you understand the strategies that you're going to learn here, we don't find deals, we create deals through unique marketing strategies. If you know anything about me, you know people consider me one of the best marketers on the planet. It's a true story. So I've taken that same strategies of marketing and applied it to real estate. It's what allowed me to do so well, because wherever you are, when you can buy a piece of real estate below the bottom, so if a house is worth $100,000 here and you can buy it for 60, you have that profit. You are buying below the bottom. Now here's what happens. I hope I'm not getting too technical here or getting off. When you understand these strategies to buy below the bottom, what happens when the market dives, when it goes down, retail buyers kind of dry up. Normal buyers dry up. Nobody's buying because they're scared. But guess who buys all the way down? Is cash buyers that are landlords. People who buy houses because they want to collect houses all the way down. People who want discounts. When you have the ability to find property so cheap below the bottom, you have the opportunity to sell all the way down. From 2007 to 2012, my students were on fire while everybody else was struggling, because we were teaching them to find deals below the bottom and then do something no one else could. How to find an unlimited supply of cash buyers that no one knew existed, because everybody's like, there's no retail. Nobody wants to buy a house. Yes, they do. The investors do. So I don't know if I made that clear enough, but we're going to teach you how to find deals no one else can, and how to find cash buyers in any market, whether we're here, or even on the way up, how to match them together and make a profit in the middle without rehabbing, without using your own money. In fact, in a moment here, I'm going to come back over. I'm going to let my guest explain wholesaling to you from their perspective. Since he's the #1 wholesaler in Arizona, I'll share with you how many deals he's doing. You're going to be floored. You're going to see that he's not using his own money. But I just want to tell you a little bit about him before I bring him out. This is a guy that introduced himself to me about 7 years ago. I heard about him. I heard what an amazing investor he was. And not just an investor, he was giving back. He was teaching people how to go. And I was watching all these students. Now listen, I've been in this space for 20 years. I've been in it before anyone was in it. And I know the people that really make an impact, and I know the people who hold up the checks and go, I got rich in 5 minutes, you can too. And I watch student after student after student just brag and get results and crush it and transform their life. So I was interested. He reached out, or I reached out. I honestly don't remember how. But the moment I met him, we were immediately connected. The moment I met him, he wanted to give back, give me more, share. And I've just been watching his career. Well, recently, he took it to a whole nother level. He had breakthroughs in marketing to find deals when no one else could. He had breakthroughs to find cash buyers, and all of a sudden his business doubled and then went higher, and he created processes and systems. And then I had him come to my $25,000 high-level mastermind group, and he lit them up. Whole next level. Lit them up so much that they asked for him to please come back. This is a guy that gets $30,000 for you to spend a little time with him in his masterminds to learn how to go faster. It's a real privilege. It's an honor to introduce my dear friend, Mr. Sean Terry. What's up, brother?
What's up?
Good to have you here,
Always
man. Thanks for
killing
coming
it.
to share with
Yes.
my DG family. Now, listen, I want to tell you before we
Hello.
start.
I'm
Before
so
we start,
excited.
Before we start, we have people on here that are in real estate crushing it.
Yep.
We have a lot of people on here that are like, I just want to make extra money.
Yep.
Some people on here like, real estate? Hell no, that would never work for me, but I have fun watching you guys live, right?
Right.
I think that kind of covers everybody. Let me know if I'm missing anyone. Why real estate? Why now? Tell me a little. First, let's go a little bit about you so people understand your story.
Well, first off, I just got to say, you changed my life. There's about 5 people, about a handful of people that have made a massive impact in my life, that really made a shift. And I can tell you, Dean, you are one of those people that I have followed, I looked up to. And it's weird because I'm 49 and you're 50, right? Yeah. So, I look up to you and what you've accomplished in this. And more importantly you've accomplished so much, you've done so much, you've set the bar so high. One of the biggest things that I love about you is your passion to help all you guys. And your passion to to really inspire people, and it's not fake, because I know you personally. We know each other, and he is a real genuine person. Loves his kids, loves his family, and I'm literally honored to be here on set. Because I've watched so many lives from the other side, right, to be on set here. So it's a true pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, Sean.
And I'm excited to see you. Your DG family is so amazing, and it's awesome. But I was not at all the type of person that, I out of school, high school, I got C's and D's, and I got out, didn't go to college. I joined the Marine Corps because that was the only thing that would let me actually join. So I got in the Marine Corps, and so I wasn't really the intellect, when at all. So, I kind of went through life, and I was always looking for something, because I wanted to get rich, but I wanted to make money. I wanted to have the nice house, and I wanted to have all this stuff, but I really could never find the vehicle that actually would work. So, I tried stock trading, I tried commodities trading, I even tried multi-level marketing where you recruit your friends, and I felt bad because I'd have to call you up and say, here, come buy this product or do something. And maybe you guys have tried something like that before, but it was literally a perpetual disappointment. Where I was always disappointed because I tried something, I really put effort into it and it didn't work. So I literally gave up, and I said, okay, I'm 33 years old, I gave up on my dreams, and I said, okay, well, maybe I'll just get a job, maybe I'll stop trying so hard, maybe I'll just let it go. And then my wife came to me and said, you should get into real estate. And I love my wife, she's amazing. She's always,
you talk about her nonstop.
She's my rock, she's amazing. So anyway, so she said, why don't you get into real estate? So I read this book about how to be a real estate millionaire, more of a listings, and it really didn't resonate with me, but it was in my head. So I was working at the time selling pools and landscaping, right, in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, it's hot here, right? It's 100 and, whatever. So I remember in the summer driving around, 100, really hot outside. And one Saturday afternoon, I didn't really want to work on Saturday, but I had to because they didn't have the money. I had to do it. I went to an appointment. It was in May of 2003, and I was driving to an appointment up the 101 loop, going up to Estrella Mountain up there to go meet a person who wanted a pool. And I go in and design the pool and the landscaping and try to sell them on the whole thing. And it sucked. It was a job that, and many of you have been in a situation where you're waking up every single day doing what you don't want to do. Every day, waking up and doing, and having a boss. I had a boss that was just literally, zero gratitude, not grateful, nothing celebrating. It was just blah. I just did it for the paycheck. And if you've ever been in a position or part of your life when you're just doing work to make a paycheck, there's zero fulfillment that's happening there. So that's where I was. That was a place I was in. I gave up on my dreams, and I was at 33, literally felt like a 60-year-old person because I was just like, almost depressed. Honestly, I was in a depressed state. So I was driving down the freeway, and I was listening to the radio. I was looking for some sort of sports to listen to, and this guy came on the radio, and he started talking about how you could flip houses, just like what you're talking about right here. And see, I was born and raised in New England, and my dad was he was the guy that was the devil's advocate. I don't know. I mean, you grew up in a positive.
Yeah.
He was the devil's. He could find anything wrong with any situation, and he felt good about it, right? And so I was like Emily, my dad. So I tried to find everything negative about everything. So what happened was I'm sitting there listening. I was like, this is a scam. He can't do this. He actually had people on the radio that were telling their stories, how they made $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000 flipping houses in less than 45 days. And I'm like, I laughed.
BS.
And so
You're
I was
like,
like,
BS.
my BS meter went up. There's no way. I was like, what a scam artist. It's like, this is ridiculous, right? And I'm laughing at myself in the car, driving to my stupid appointment, right? Broke, living month to month. And I'm sitting there driving, and I turned the channel, and I was like, who's going to listen to this on a Saturday? So I flipped the channel, and as I'm sitting there driving down the freeway and going all through the stuff, right? And next thing you know, I had this gut feeling, and today I know it's God's intervention for giving me the gut feeling to turn it back, and I turned the channel back, and I continued to listen to what this guy had to say, and he talked about this concept of wholesaling. You know, this concept of where you can find distressed sellers, right? And see, you know, I don't know if you can show the screen right now. If you look at that, 95% of the people are going to sell with the retailer. They're going to sell retail.
With a real estate agent.
With the retail, right? So, you know, I was thinking, who would sell their house at a discount? It's like selling Amazon at half off. Who would do that, right? You can't do that, right? But there are people, 5% of the population actually sell distress. They need distress. So what happens is he explained this concept of where we could specifically target these distressed sellers, and we can help them out of their situation. So not only could we make a profit, but you could actually help someone and do a service. So what we do as real estate wholesalers is we provide an amazing service for people to help them get out of their distressed situation, and you can make a profit, and it's a good thing for the buyer because the buyer can fix up the neighborhood. So it's literally just good all the way around. So he explained this entire concept, and literally, it was amazing. He talked about where you could get a property under contract. And here's the thing. I had this preconceived notion, just like when you're talking about there, I had a preconceived notion that you had to have cash, right, to buy a house. Like, you just bought a house.
Right.
Did you have to have cash?
Yes.
Did you have to have credit?
Yes.
Yeah, so he had to put a credit up. He had to have cash to be able to do this. And when I first got started, you know, I didn't have cash. I had like a 600 credit score. I had no cash. So I was out of the game when it came to fixing and flipping properties and buying and holding properties. So I was completely out of the game. So when he talked about this and said, you don't need cash to do this, I was like, I don't understand. How does that possibly work? And he explained this concept of how you can get paid. And there's two different ways you can get paid. And we can explain that. But the bottom line is, he said, you don't buy the house. You sign a contract. And I was like, okay, so keep going. So you sign a contract, but he explained the validity of the contract and why it was so important. Because a contract, and the seller can only sell to one person. A contract gives you equitable interest and controlling interest of the property. And if you have that equitable interest and controlling interest, you can sell that contract. So now it kind of, the underlying assets, the house, and you have the contract, right? But the bottom line is this, is that you're not actually buying the house. You're signing a contract and you're selling the contract to someone who wants to fix up the property or buy and hold or whatever they're gonna do. And it's amazing concept. And literally, I felt a wave of like, I had no idea. I was absolutely in shock. I had no idea that you could do this. I never knew it happened. It's been around for a while, but I was like, this is amazing. And I was so excited, but I did have some, internal, doubts that it could potentially happen, but literally from that point, I went out and see, this was this was before we had marketing geniuses like Mr. Dean Graziosi here, but he taught to knock on pre-foreclosure doors. So I got a list, I went and knocked on pre-foreclosure doors, and in 3 weeks, I made a check, and it wasn't easy. I was afraid. There was many times I wanted to quit, and I didn't think I could do it, but I went out and made $11,008 in May of 2003, over 15 years ago, and that changed everything. And I think the biggest thing was, because I bought this guy's course on the radio, right? It was $500. I didn't have the money. I had a $250, it was a First Premier card, and I took my wife's $250 First Premier card. I bought it. But that was the first decision where I made a decision to buy a course, which I've never done before. I've never ever bought
Tony Robbins
any
was my first.
course. Any course, right? I've never bought a course before, so I made a decision to buy a course, and it was funny because the course was filmed in 1992, and it was 2003.
No way.
So the stuff was, this guy was like in bell bottoms, and he's from Texas and talking Southern drawl, go knock on doors and you can get contracts. And I love Texas. Texas is great. My first girlfriend was from Texas and she was hot as heck. But she's amazing, right? But the bottom line is that the information was antiquated.
But the other thing, the concept.
The concept.
That first check changed everything.
The first check, because I made a decision, I bought the course, I followed the course, and it said knock on pre-foreclosure doors. I did, and I got a check. And I'm telling you guys, I can tell you right now, there is especially when it comes to your first check, and there's guys on right now that you get checks all day, every day, and your guys are crushing it. But for the people that are just starting, and maybe you want just a part-time income or just want to make extra money, but I can tell you that made such a massive impact in my life, that first check, because you got a gap from where you're starting and over here, and there's like that gap. You want to get that first check, but once you do it, everything changes because of one thing, and it's proof of concept. Yeah. And once you have proof of concept and you know it works for 100%, listen, my father-in-law told me, you can't sell a house you don't own. A realtor said,
it's illegal.
Yeah, you can't do it, right? It's illegal. A realtor said, you can't get all the house. Professionals get those houses. And I felt down. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I can't do this. But I got that first check of $11,000, and literally it changed everything. All I can tell you guys, that's what I want for you. I want that for you, because you have no idea what that will do for you, for confidence, proof of concept. All the people that think you're crazy, all the people that think you're doing this real estate thing. It's literally, I call it, and I used to be a Marine, so pardon me, because I know you guys are, it was a shut up check, right? So I brought the shut up check to my father-in-law, and I was nice and I was respectful, but I said, shut up, right? So I was like, and when you have an $11,000 check and you made it from real estate, you go, shut up, right? And that's like, all those people that told me I was crazy, guess what? It made it happen. And there's nothing like getting your first check and doing it. And this concept that we're talking about, that we're gonna show you, is literally life-altering. And now, just
think you've had 15 years. So
I can't even believe my life now. Don't you
love this guy's passion? Why do you think I wanted to bring him here? Listen, I just got off the road for a week. I love you're bringing my energy up, brother. I love it. But you could tell his passion and why we're friends. But he's had 15 years of perfecting it. Just listen, and I'm not saying you're going to do what Sean does or do what I do or some of the students we're going to talk to. We don't know if you're going to take action, if you're a dabbler, or if you take absolute crazy action, if you're like us and obsessed over things. But how many deals are you doing on average every month right now? Wholesaling, this exact strategy.
Well, we'll do over 200 deals a year right now, but that's just in Arizona, not including across the country. We do with students all across the entire country.
This is just his personal deals. This isn't the students here. He's doing 200 wholesale deals a year right now, and you know your numbers, and I'm gonna disclaim this and say he's not normal. He's obsession. He's an obsessed guy. He's working hard. He's in the top of his ranks. But how much do you average real net profit on those deals?
Our average deal size is about $18,000. We'll spend about anywhere from $1,200 to $1,300 per deal. So the balance is about $16,000 net.
$16,000 net. That's amazing. Now,
again.
What we're sharing with you tonight is not telling you how to get to where Sean's the number one in this whole entire state. But what if you could just do one deal a quarter and then one deal a month? And again, what you're going to learn tonight, and I'm going to take a few minutes and go over the old way to real estate compared to the new. But what you're going to really learn, even if you've never thought about real estate, like I disclaimed in the beginning, is 5% of the houses out there are distressed. Did you know that 1/3 of all houses in America are owned free and clear? So we're going to be looking for houses that are distressed and owned free and clear with the ability to buy a little bit cheaper than everybody else, because using my marketing strategies and what Sean has learned, we find the deals other people can't. And then when the market crests, everybody else is looking for retail buyers and we're not. And you could talk more about that in a moment.
Absolutely.
There's a specific targeted buyer that I rode the wave all the way down, supplying deals nonstop, hungry the entire way. When everybody else is going, oh, I fixed this house up, I put 50 grand in it, I put it on the market, it's been on the market for 300 days, what do I do?
Yep.
We're firing houses off nonstop to cash buyers who want to buy and collect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a few minutes. In fact, before you do,
Sure.
Why don't you take a moment and walk through one of your students? Sean not only does this himself, the reason we connected, the reason I wanted him here tonight is you get better when you teach. A buddy of mine, Joe Polish, said if you want to get better at what you do, record it. Like, had a little recorder, like, I'm going to tell you, so record it. He said, you want to get really good? Teach someone.
Absolutely.
And I've been watching your teaching methods, dude. I've been watching you get better and better. You came in my other room here with my high-level group. You lit them up.
Love those guys.
4 times in the last 4 years. You've just gone on to do some amazing things. Share.
Well, I want to disclaim that for a second and let you know that I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've literally figured out every single way to do it wrong.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Do you know what I mean? I've figured out every way to do it wrong. I've tested every marketing method, tried every method, done everything, and I've figured out every way to do it wrong. And if you do it wrong enough, long enough, you figure out the right way to do it. But the bottom line is that, so we've actually shared these techniques with some other people that literally didn't have any real estate background, didn't understand real estate, didn't know real estate. And actually interesting, Christian, great guy, really, really passionate, awesome guy from Florida. He was a fireman. You know, so this guy is a fireman. He's out there serving the city, going out and doing that. And he loved doing it, but there's not a lot of money and the hours are kind of weird and stuff like that. So he got started and he got up and going. Now, I mean, this guy, he replaced his $43,000 a year salary, and now the guy's consistently making, and he's under 30, making $100,000 a month.
A month.
A month. Following exactly following the process, the step-by-step system, exactly what to follow, right? And he is absolutely crushing it, and he's doing amazing. And the cool thing is that he's just an average, everyday guy. If you meet him, he's just such a real nice guy, completely down to earth. You know, and what's great about wholesaling is you don't have to have superior talent. I'm proof, right? I am proof. You don't have to be from a killer area or market or whatever. You can be in a small town. It doesn't matter what your background is, where you come from. But the stories like this really inspire me. I love hearing them.
I remember you telling me about Christian. And again, I'm going to disclaim that. I'm not saying in any way that you do exactly what Sean does, you're going to get the results Christian does. But if you know anything about me, I don't share a lot of that. Like, we have more successful students than anyone on the planet. Sometimes I want you to decide, but Sean has found this way to take people who've never done this, who live in all different parts of the world or all different parts of the country, and give them the process to find these deals, find the buyers, match them up, and again, proof of concept, you do it over and over. But again, you're unique. We don't know if you're going to do it or not, but I love the results, and I know you got piles and piles of stories. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the whiteboard. I did something about 6 months ago that really made an impact at a live event. I did it on a training. I want to share it here. This is my archaic way of showing the old way to real estate investing compared to the new.
You're so good at this.
So
I'm going to sit back and watch.
Yes, I'm going to share this. So we covered this up because let's talk about the old way to real estate investing compared to the new. And I want to disclaim this by saying this old way, the traditional way, the way that works really well when the market's going up, this way still works really good on the market on the way up, and it works good in theory. That, again, I became a millionaire in my 20s, and I'm disclaiming that. Not saying you're going to be a millionaire. I love doing that because I don't want to be the guy that's saying you're going to get rich overnight.
Right.
But you're getting the plan. You're getting the blueprint. So this way made me change my life. Made me a millionaire in my 20s, allowed me to retire my parents, allowed me to have more control, more freedom, be the man I wanted to be. Like, this was my foundation for who I am today. But let me just take you through the old way, which most people think is the way you make money. So first is, you get a real estate agent. You say, you know what? This whole real estate thing, I know for a fact that real estate has made more people wealthy than any other one thing in the history of the world. I'm not trying Shopify. I'm not going to try this Amazon thing or drop shipping. I'm going to go for what people need, because here's what I know. I want to be in a future-proof industry, right? I know this is an overused term, but Blockbuster thought people are going to watch movies forever. And they could have bought Netflix for next to nothing, and they said, screw Netflix. They're never going to be able to stream videos. When's the last time you saw a Blockbuster? Right? When Uber came out, everybody laughed. Who's going to want to drive people around in their car, right? You've heard that before. If you're a taxi cab driver, now you're like, shit. Taxi cabs aren't future-proof. Selling products, they're not future-proof. Here's what I know. It doesn't matter if our cars fly themselves. If they're autonomous and you get in it and they fly, they're still going to bring you to your home. So what I love about real estate more than anything, I really want you to listen to what I just said, it can't be the taxi to Uber. It can't be the Blockbuster to Netflix, because people will always need homes. So look through that lens as I share. So people say, I want to get in real estate. So you go get a real estate agent and they start looking for houses. And they look at lots of different houses and they send you get 40,000 emails and you're trying to say which one could be good. Is it in a good area, good location? You go through all that. And then finally you narrow it down. And if you find one, especially the market is still people, like we're at the crest, like I was telling you. So people are still looking. You go look at a bunch of houses and then you find one you like. All right, we're going to buy the house on 123 Main Street. Now the negotiation begins. So you might be 30 days in before you even start negotiating on a house, right? So now you negotiate the deal. You talk to your realtor. They talk to their realtor. They talk to the seller. It goes back and forth. Let's say you figure it out and you get it. You find the deal. Somebody accepts your offer. You're like, I got the deal. Now you have to find the money, right? Because like the house I just bought, if you're doing a fix and flip, you can't just get it on credit. Maybe some of it you can get on credit, but it's a fix and flip. You need the cash. Maybe you get a home equity line of credit. Maybe you have the money. Maybe a relative or a friend lends you the money. Cool, that's good. Find deals. That's what I did. I used credit card to buy deals. My first 5 or 6 deals were literally credit cards. I had 9 different credit cards to buy my deals. So you find the money, and then you wait for the closing. So now it's what? Another 30-day close. You might be 60 days in here, and you close on the property. So now you're like, I got my first deal, or I got this deal. I locked it up, I bought it, I found the money. Now you go check it out and you gotta rehab it. That's okay. You gotta rehab it, but then you need to find the money to rehab the property. So maybe that's when you use a credit card or you get a relative or a friend to give you the money. Great, again, there's nothing wrong with this. I made millions of dollars doing this, just sharing the old way and the way you surely do not wanna do as the market changes, right? So now you rehab it. Let's just say it takes, 45 days to rehab the house, to get it the way you want it. You're matching it to the houses that look like the neighborhood. You get the right concept. You're not putting tile if nobody else has tile. You're not putting, granite countertops if there's none in that neighborhood. You figure it out. You do it perfect. Now you put it back on the market, right? With your profit. So you hope to put it back on the market. And let's say it takes even 30 days to sell. You're already at 90, 130. You're at 175 days here, if you could sell it in 30 days, and that's in a hot market. The problem is when the market shifts and it's going down, if you bought that house here, like right now, if it's 175 days later, you're already on the downward trend. You missed it. This is why so many people got in trouble in the last down market. It's why so many people were jaded against real estate, because when the market was up here in the peak, it's when everybody was buying. This is the best market, and it wasn't. People are still buying right now, and I'm like, no, don't buy and hold. Don't fix and flip. The market has officially shifted. Google it. Look at the days on market. I just sold my personal house, literally for half off what the guy originally started asking for it. Half off. But that's the higher end homes. It's going down to the lower end homes. So the last thing you want to do is buy here, fix and flip, and try to sell down here. That's how you get in trouble. But that's the old way. That's the way that could work still in an up market. But I want to show you a way where you don't need a real estate agent. You can personally look at the house if you want to, but there's a process that you don't. You negotiate, but you do it all online. You don't find the money because you use none of it. You don't wait for a closing because there is none that you're worried about. You don't, because you never buy it. You don't rehab the house. You're passing it off to someone else. And back on the market, we have hungry buyers waiting to gobble this up for you. Now that's the old way. In a moment here, I'm going to bring Sean up. I'd love for you to, maybe we can erase that board, and Sean, you can go a little deeper. But I'm going to go through the new way quick, and then I want to hand it over to you. I love 2 different perspectives. So this is the new way. This is what we're talking about. This is wholesaling. This is finding deals no one else knows are there. Cheaper, a little bit cheaper than everybody else, and matching them up with the cash buyers hungry for that. Think about this. This is a really silly analogy. If you know that people are in your area are buying black leather Italian shoes, they love black leather Italian shoes, and they pay $100 for them. You could go and find some beat up leather shoes and try to fix them up and polish them and try to sell them those shoes. But what if you had a unique process to find those $100 shoes for 85 bucks? Everybody else is paying 100, you found them for 85, and you were able to hand them off to the people who like black leather Italian shoes for $95. You're still cheaper than everybody else. You still make your 10 bucks in between, and that's wholesaling. We have unique strategies to find deals cheaper than everybody else in areas that people don't even know they're for sale, that are distressed, they're dying to get rid of. And when you find them, you lock them up like Sean described on paper, and you have a list of cash buyers and say, hey, do you want it? Do you want it? So let me go through this really quick. Can you see this all right on camera? So instead of going to a real estate agent and hoping that they find a deal for you, and when they have 100 other clients and hundreds of other people wanting to buy houses, you're using a unique strategy. And I'm gonna let you go deeper on how, because there's nobody better on the planet right now than Sean. He's using RVM, which is ringless voicemail. I'm gonna let you get into it. Unbelievable what you've discovered. We're using pay-per-click, direct mail. What's this one? Social media, covered all of them. I had Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Craigslist. There are ways to use each one of these strategies in today's digital world. You're already on social media, but guess what? Social media is kind of using you. Did you ever go on and you get sucked into it? How would you like to use it? I had a term in my head, make it your, but I don't want to say that. I'll be polite tonight. I swear too much. But how would you like social media to pay you back with strategies to have deals come to you? Because you're looking for a unique seller. A third of everybody in America owns their house for cash. A percentage of them are in trouble financially. Some of them are going through divorce. Some of them got the property through, it's in probate. Some of them got it through that they were left the house by someone who passed away. Other times someone owns a house for cash and they get moved and transferred to a different state and that house is just sitting there. This is the unique process using these mechanisms, and I'm gonna let you go a little deeper on, to have deals come to you. You're not out knocking on doors. You're not looking at a pre-foreclosure list and knocking on doors saying, hey, would you like to sell your house? We've made social media technology simple and easy to bring deals for us. So think about this. You're looking for that ideal property that's distressed, and all of a sudden it comes to you. It goes to your phone or to a voicemail. And then we have a process on an easy lead sheet which basically tells you how to talk on that call when someone calls you. We've been doing this, I've been doing it for 30 years, you've been doing it for 15 years. We've said all the wrong things when people call. We've been to where you think you have to try to sell or ask for a deal. You don't. There's a simple process. So the call comes in, it goes to your phone or a voicemail. You have the process. You have an absolute script on how to talk to them. Then it goes to your good leads. You know what, Sean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you take it from here and walk them all the way through on how it works and share.
I'm gonna show them how they get paid. Once you understand how you get paid, all this kind of ties together.
Yeah, that's the part. And I want to let you, I don't want to take that away from you because you're doing this every single day. So go ahead, start from here and take them through the new way so they truly understand it.
Okay, so first off, remember we're targeting distress, right? Remember that 95% of the people that you and I know are going to sell with a realtor, right? They're going to sell with a realtor. So we're looking for 5% of the distress, and we're looking to help them out of their situation. So there's a couple unique techniques that we can get leads and sellers, motivated sellers, to come in and basically approach us. See, when I first got started, I was taught to knock on pre-foreclosure doors. So I went out to a house, I drove all around, I knocked on doors, and it was terrible. I had people yell at me, pull guns on me, have their dogs bark at me. That was terrible. And this right here, these techniques, and these are, we literally just put a handful. There is so many different really cool techniques that will attract sellers to you. So the first one here is ringless voicemail. And I don't want to go too deep in this because I really want to get to the part where you actually get paid, because that's the exciting part. But the bottom line is ringless voicemail. You can drop a customized voicemail into a motivated seller's cell phone. And it just, have you ever got those messages maybe during the the political season, right? And all of a sudden you get this message on your phone, and you might like it or you might not, but it's highly effective. It's highly effective. Did you know that 97% of the people listen to their message? And you can send a drop, and it's called a drop, to a seller for less than 5 cents, right? It's amazing. So this technology is huge. Now, for an example, I just closed a deal last Tuesday that came from a ringless voicemail last Tuesday. We literally kept the seller's $307,000 loan in place. We gave the seller $500, and we flipped it for $29,000 down, and we pocketed $28,500. The seller got $500. He got to get out of the house, be done with the house. Our company got $28,500, and the buyer was ecstatic to have that property. Now, that came from ringless voicemail, $28,000. Last week we closed on it. I'm going to talk about some other cool stuff too, but the bottom line is it's amazing. Do you realize that most Americans only make $50,000 to $60,000 a year? What if you just did one of these little deals a year? One $28,000 deal a year. Let me ask you a question. Would that make an impact in your life? I mean, could you take a vacation? Could you actually, maybe, pay off some credit card debt? Maybe pay off some other debt? Maybe, give your kids braces, right? I don't know, I got 2 daughters, and I can tell you, braces are expensive, I can tell you that. You need $28,000 for braces. Anyways, here's the next one's pay-per-click advertising. And this is where people go online and they put in a keyword and they search the term, sell my house fast, or we buy houses. Your ad comes up and you wonder how Google makes money, or Yahoo makes money, or Bing makes money. I never knew how they actually made money until I started paying them millions and millions of dollars for pay-per-click advertising. Now, over the years, of course, not all the time, you can actually do a budget on this. It's pretty cool. But there's a guy I'm working with out in Baltimore right now. He made $425,000 last year just off this one method alone. And now he's a solopreneur. He works for himself. He gets up, he goes to a couple, 2, 3 appointments a week, meets sellers, talks to them over the phone, and just off this method right here, $425,000, and the guy's like 24 years old. Amazing. Now, we got social media. Listen to this. Social media is amazing. Instagram, if you guys aren't on Instagram, and I know some people are like, well, I don't want to be on Instagram, I don't want to put my face out there, and this, that, and the other. If you just post pictures and tell people what you do and stuff, it's amazing. We got a deal that just came in that we got on a contract on yesterday, right? No, 2 days ago. And we got the property under contract for $60,000. We sold it to our cash buyers list exactly like Dean was saying for $106,000. $106,000, right? That's insane. $46,000 in a matter of 48 hours from social media, right? Amazing. Direct mail, listen to this. We got a deal locked up yesterday. We went to the seller, and here's the thing, it's amazing. We have average deals that can be like, $18,000, $16,000, $15,000. And then what happens is, this is almost like fishing. It's like putting a line in the ocean. I went out to Hawaii, and we went deep sea fishing. We had all these lines that are going off the end of the boat, right? And you never know what you're gonna get. That's exactly like this. You kind of put the lines out there. Well, we had a line out there, and this lady called in, and she said, if you give me $120,000, I'd be happy, I'd be ecstatic. So we ran to the house, right? We're literally sprinted to the house. And one of my sales guys, he went out there and he got the property under contract for $120,000, gave her exactly what she wanted. Didn't even have to negotiate. Guess what? We're selling that property for $190,000. That's a $70,000 profit. That, my friends, is a huge marlin, coming up on the boat. It's just amazing. Anyways, Craigslist is amazing. It's a free method. You can turn around and generate deals. But the bottom line is there are so many different methods, and I could go deep on each one. I could spend an hour on each one of how cool it is. The cool thing is it literally drops into a voicemail. I mean, we have an easy CRM. It's super easy. The technology now is amazing. And then you can run comps. We have a technology right now that is so accurate. You just put an address and it gives you the comps. The comp of what it's worth right there. And then it gives you all the corresponding comps. The technology now of where when I first got started, I used MapQuest and a pre-foreclosure list in my knuckles, right? That's it. That was basically the extent of my technology, right? Now there's so many cool things that we're talking about this downturn. You can capitalize and make a fortune. Now, You lock up the property. What is that? You sign, we have a 2-page contract. It's very simple. All you got to do is get a 2-page contract and you go through, and literally you can go through and you can sign the contract, this is where like the most important part right here. You sign the contract. That gives you equitable interest in the property, and that equitable interest is so important because now you're the only one in the entire planet that can control that property for a price, right? So let's say for an example you have, in our case, right? You know, we had the, property's right, it's $350,000. You probably can't see this, but oh well. So, and we turn around, we sell it for $190,000, right? And we got it under contract for $120,000. You look at that right there. What we did, we just signed a contract. Did we close on it? Did they pull our credit? Did they ask for a down payment? Did they ask for proof of funds? No. You know what we did for earnest money? People go, what about earnest money? We put a $10 earnest money down. $10 to make $70,000. Not bad, huh? See, and here's the thing I want to tell you. These deals are laying all over the place. And we're talking about this down strategy. Why this is so important, you pay attention right now, is because the distressed sellers go from 5% to 7% to 15% to 20%, and it becomes just amazing where now you can go in and you can get contracts, and they're basically, distressed sellers are all over the place, and we need people out there like you that can help these people and show them and help them get out of their situation and be able to make a profit. And these cash buyers, they don't want to turn around and have to do all these things to market and look at. They want to do what they're great at, which is buying and holding properties and building a portfolio. And you get to do what you're great at, which is actually going out there and finding deals. So anyways, you lock it up, right? You push the deal to cash buyers, literally. There's a technology that we literally press a button and it goes out to 43,000 buyers and our phone melts off the hook. I have a guy, his name's Sean. So he turns around, he just pushes it out. He gets calls. We got 4 contracts on full price offers on one property, on one press of button within less than probably 30, 40 minutes. 4 full price contracts by pressing a button to pushing our buyers, right? And that was a $16,000 profit deal. We just pushed it out. Now here's how you get paid. Now, can I pull this over here? Yeah. Sorry. Okay. How's that look? All right, we good? Okay. All right. So how you get paid? How to get paid? Okay. So there's essentially two ways to get paid. Now remember, you're getting a contract, right? So you have a contract, a piece of paper. You sign a contract with the seller. And you're signing a contract. In this case, we signed it for $120,000. That's it. All we did was sign a contract, right? We didn't apply for a loan. We didn't come in with credit. We didn't come in with cash. We just simply signed a 2-page piece of paper, contract. And what we did in this particular case, there's 2 ways to get paid, is we can assign the contract, right? And assign means sell. So we can sell the contract to a buyer. Now here's the beautiful thing, and this is what literally took the stress off me when I first found this out. There is something, right, called a title company. Right? So there's a title company, and you know what the title company does? You give them the contract, and you know what they do? They handle all the paperwork, and they handle all the money. That means you don't have to do it. All you do is go to a title company, and they'll handle, and title companies, they know what assignments are. They know exactly how it works. You just bring it to a title company and they'll handle everything for you. They'll draw the paperwork, they'll do the title search, they're gonna call your buyer, the buyer's gonna come and sign papers, the buyer's gonna do all the, he's gonna give you, send the check, he's gonna take care of everything. They're gonna call you and say, and actually you're gonna get an email that's gonna come across and say, transaction's closed. That's the day you jump up and down because you just closed your deal. Then you go down to the title company and you pick up your check. Now, if you've been on Instagram or anywhere and you see people holding up checks and they're all excited, this is how it's done, and you can do it too. You don't have to be smart. I am living proof, right? I don't have a college education. I used to be a Marine, for crying out loud. Anybody can do this. We have so many success stories from people from all walks of life. They're doing amazing. Second way, and I'm done, here's the thing, is we got what's called a double escrow, right? A double escrow is very, very simple. All it means is that the buyer, right, your buyer, the guy that's buying it for $190,000 in our case, is gonna wire in the money, the $190,000, and that $190,000, the title company is gonna pay the seller $120,000, and the balance is gonna go to us, right? Very simple. So these wires in $190,000, of which $120,000 goes to the seller, and the difference goes to us. It's so simple. The title companies do it all the time. It's called a double escrow, simultaneous close, back-to-back close, or different other verbiage for it. The bottom line is it's really simple, and they deal with all that. They deal with all that paperwork for you so you don't have to do it. And guess what? All you do is they call you, the transaction closes, and you pick up the check. So now it just becomes proficient at basically becoming and finding these distressed sellers and learning exactly how to do it. But you know what? Once I went through this process, and that's why I think it's so incredibly important to go out and get your first deal. Once you get your first deal and you go through the process and you get proof of concept, everything changes. Everything changes because now you do it once, now you're gonna go, how can I do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again? And one of you guys, some of you guys might be doing deals already. You might be a solopreneur, and you might be doing, just deals yourself, and you want to scale it to the next level and do 5 deals a month, 10 deals a month, 15 deals a month, and you want to do those type of things. Well, guess what? There's a process in the system to do it, and if you know exactly what to do, you can turn around and you can literally change your children's destiny by doing this. It's amazing. I mean, my kids have a complete different life than I had when I grew up, and it's because of this, and because of this, and because of this guy right here. So awesome.
No, that was.
I love it. It's so exciting. This business,
dude. I love the energy.
I love teaching. I love watching people become successful, and I love actually teaching.
Listen, I have to tell you, I never get to watch anybody else. Like today, yeah. Seriously, today I've been on the run. It's like it was so fun watching you. But you at home, let me just get right to the point here. Is I love all the stories, and again, I'm going to say he's a professional. He does this every day. I'm not saying you're going to go out. He's not saying you're going to go out and do what he's did, and all. They're real deals. Everything he shared tonight. He asked me if he could share those stories about the deals he's doing this week and provided us documentation on every one of those deals he's talking about. This isn't some dream, and he's not making inflated numbers. Nope. These are the real numbers that he's doing this week right now. Do you see why I wanted to have Sean here? Why I wanted to just kick it off and give it over to him, because this is what he's doing every day more than I am right now. Listen, my books are keeping me busy, my speaking engagements, my partnerships, my high-level masterminds, all those things. I love it. I still have hundreds of real estate deals. But this is what he's living every day. And that's why I said to you, if you've never thought about real estate, you're going to want to watch this. If you've thought about it and tried and failed, you're going to want to watch. Even if you're skeptical. And listen, is this easy? Nothing is easy. But how are the other so-called magic money machines working out for people that you know? If you want another level of life, you have to put the time in. You have to roll up your sleeves. It takes work. Does it happen just like that? No, but what Sean has done over the years, what I've done in marketing, is we've found the easier path because we screwed up so many times, but we found what works. And when you combine our marketing strategies to find those deals people don't know exist, and they're just a little bit cheaper than everybody else, you get to hand them off to cash buyers. And this, I'm telling you right now, you could be someone who feels like a victim while the market crashes over the next 10 years. Just Google it. The market's been going up like a roller coaster for 10 years, up and down. You could feel like a victim. You could be hurt, and I'm not saying, I hope you're not, but I watched so many people get hurt in the last down market. Or you could be armed with the strategies where you go, bring it. Winter's coming. I think Tony got it from Jim Rohn. Winter is coming. You know what? This is putting a coat on and you're the one warm when everyone's freezing. It's gonna go down. That's why I decided last minute to go live, why I asked Sean to please be here to share his expertise, because I don't know anybody crushing it like him, and also being an educator. See, here's what I know. If you want to take your life to another level, if you want success on another level, you need three things. You need the opportunity, you need the knowledge and capabilities, and you need to take action. I don't think there's a better opportunity to wholesale, not fix and flip, not buy and hold, to wholesale. Oh my God, you have the unfair advantage. You don't want to look back in 6 months or a year from now and you're going to see on the news, market's crashing, and you're like, oh wow, I
heard that, yeah.
I saw Sean Dean. They told me it was coming. Oh, what do I do now? And this opportunity might not be available. You'll be scrambling to figure it out when you could be ahead of the game. The negativity's coming like a wave. You could spin that around and ride that wave. That was kind of silly, but it's the truth. And that's why I wanted to do this now. I pounded the airwaves in 2007 for people to do it, and I'm blessed that 1 million people got a copy of my book, Be a Real Estate Millionaire, during that time. We got to save so many people from struggling on the way down. I want to do the same for you. That's why I'm excited. And here's the cool part. If you know anything about me, if you've been following me on Instagram, if you have my book, Millionaire Success Habits, and you read it, you know my values. You know who I am. You know what I stand for. You know I share, and I say it every day, there's no such thing as a magic money machine. There's no such thing as getting rich by doing nothing. Hit a few keypads on your computer and get rich. But there are realistic ways to transform your life. He's living proof. I'm living proof. Real estate saved my life. Yes, I do 1 million things now, but if it wasn't for real estate, I'd never be the man I am. I'd never be as successful as I am. I would never be able to leave my kids a legacy. So if you know my values, you got to meet Sean tonight. I hope if it's the first time in, I hope you made amazing energy.
I appreciate it.
If you know our values, the second part of that is you're going to need help. If you're still watching, I'm guessing you're someone that wants to go to another level. If you're still here, that means you're intrigued about real estate, or you want real estate and you're ready to go, but you're going to need help. I still I spend 50 grand a year to go to Strategic Coach, 25 grand to go to Genius Network. I spend money to be better, to go faster, to learn the unfair advantages, to not learn through my own trial and error. I still cut checks. Self-education transformed my life. Like I said, you need three things. You need opportunity, you need action, you need knowledge. So what I'm going to ask you right now is, if you're ready for another level, then it's time to take action. If you know my values, you know what I stand for, you know you need help, I want us to be that help. I'm asking you to let Sean and I guide you so you can thrive on the way down, so you can do what might seem complicated today, but when you have a blueprint, the complexity goes away. When someone shows you how to do something, you're like, oh, I get it, one step at a time. And that's why I'm so excited. We got Sean here, and I made an amazing deal with Sean to offer you a course that we're calling the Down Market Profits. Sean has obsessed on creating KPIs and creating SOPs, which I didn't even know what they were that not that long ago.
SOPs.
I was hundreds of millions of dollars in a standing operating procedure. So you don't have to think, how do I acquire leads through pay-per-click? Here's the standing operating procedure. Do this, 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 and this. How do I do it through social media? You do this, 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 and this. How do I know if it's working? It's your key performance indicator. It means if you spend this and you get this, it's working. He does this better than anyone on the planet. Paint by the numbers, and created a process that's unbelievable. I'm so excited. If you're still here and you're interested in profiting on the way down, profiting in real estate, this is one of the greatest opportunities we've ever put together. So let me share. First, can we pull this slide up? First, I wanted to do this because if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with your habits. I'm obsessed with what goes on between your ears, because you could give somebody literally, and you can bring that slide down if it's still up. You could give somebody a business on how to sell $20 bills for $10, and they'll still go, oh no, my friends told me it won't work. My parents told me I was an idiot. I don't live in the right area. It's like, no, you have to sell $20 bills for $10. So you need the foundation. I'm going to get into what you're going to get in real estate, but I'm going to include a course that I did called the Accelerated Success Formula. It's a 3-part system. The one is the foundation for success. What does it take to be sustainably successful? Not a flash in the pan. How do you overcome the obstacles? How do you anchor it in? And how do you create long-term wealth, long-term abundance, not just, hey, another thing I'm going to try. That's step 1. Step 2 is the knowledge and the capabilities. It's the roadmap. Listen, I went from broker than broke. I've been at every phase. 100 grand a year, 100 grand a month, 100 grand a week, 100 grand a day. I've been at all those and failed miserably in between. So I know how to create the roadmap so you can go on a straight line and not have to do the roller coaster I did. And last part of the pyramid to get the success is, how do you take action and implement in today's crazy busy world? How do you be massively productive? This course, people went nuts over this course. It sells for $497, still sells nonstop. It's a great course. We're including that today, but that's only the beginning. Then we get to what Sean is contributing to this, and it's unbelievable. You're gonna learn the cutting edge strategies to confidently profit doing wholesale deals right now. And Sean, I'm gonna let you, and I know a lot of people, even on the, if you're on the East Coast, it's getting a little late, but you got to stay for this. Plus, we're giving away a laptop at the end. Yes, the ethical bribe, stay here. We're gonna give a laptop to one of you watching right now. I want you to stay, because if you're still watching, you want more out of life. I know you do. And I want you to understand that this, you can describe what's in it, but here's what I know. If you want to learn from a guy that's doing deals every single day, using, how much of your own money are you using on those deals?
$10.
$10 on that one.
$10 on
yeah,
that.
This is real.
$10 to $100.
Again, if you know me, I wouldn't let Sean here if we didn't do a research and know that everything he's talking about is the real deal. He's created a course to show you from start to finish everything that we shared on this whiteboard, how to find the deals in multiple different ways, but not just here's all the ways to find deals. That gets overwhelming. It's like, no, try this method first until you get deals. Try this method second. We went through this entire course, and then it shows you exactly how to find the cash buyers, the exact contract to use, how to match them up, how to talk to the title company, how to get the check. So real quick, you have 8 modules. Share a little bit.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that, you know, when I put this together, this course together, is that, you know, people don't want to wait. There's 2 things that people don't want to waste, and that is time and money, right? You don't want to waste time, because time's the only thing you have, right, on this planet. And you don't want to waste money trying to figure out what works, trying to reinvent the wheel. So the bottom line is, I took 15 years of everything that didn't work and then got rid of that and focused on everything that did work and put it together. And literally, we've had thousands and thousands of students go through this and not only have amazing success because of 2 reasons. One, which I think is great, and that course, when it talks about the higher level, the mind on how to go out and achieve and take action, is huge, but it's very detail orientated, right? I get granular, and the problem is that I found is that there's so many high level things, and it gives you a broad spectrum, but it doesn't give you the details, specifically how to pull a list. What is the list criteria? Right? Where do you pull it from? Right? Where specifically, what button do you press? What do you do this? So we literally take you step by step, exactly what to do and how to do it. And it starts with the foundation, understanding the principles of wholesaling and what you need. I walk you through contracts. I walk you through closing statements. I walk you through every single detail of everything that we do so you can understand it. And it's literally where there is nothing left. There's no stone that has not been turned to answer that question, because we survey like crazy, getting all the information back and then being able to update it consistently. We constantly update the course, which is amazing. So we talk about automation and mastery, how to get leads coming in literally automatically without you having to go knock on pre-foreclosure doors or go driving for dollars or go even put out bandit signs, which used to be a huge thing, but still, in Phoenix, the dirt is like this. Have you ever, there's times I put out hundreds and hundreds of bandit signs, and you need a drill to put out bandit signs, right? And guess what? It's freezing across the country right now, right?
Yes.
I don't want to put bandit signs out when it's negative 40 degrees. Thank you very much. So anyways, imagine having leads coming to you. So we have marketing, amazing. We give you the right marketing strategies for when you're starting right now. Right? Not billion marketing strategies, just like he's talking about, but just the ones that work right now, they're tried and true. Understanding your KPIs and your numbers. And that is critically important, because there's a couple numbers. There's basically 3 numbers in your entire business that can predict your revenue and create a consistency in your business. And you could say, hey, Sean, you know what? I want you to tell me that I want to make $100,000 a year. And if we talk about these 3 numbers, we show you how to get these 3 numbers, we show you why they're important, and you say, with those 3 numbers, I could show you exactly what to do each week when it comes to lead generation and offers to go out and generate that $100,000. So you have a game plan that is laser focused on exactly what to do. Talk about working with sellers. This is critical, right? Whether it be over the phone, right? We have guys that are literally just doing this over the phone. They never even meet with a seller, right? They just do it over the phone. Or guess what? I like meeting the seller because I love meeting people. I love building rapport. And we show you there's a 9-step seller conversion sequence that we show you step by step exactly what to do. Everything is literally methodical of how it goes through, and it shows you how to go out and get a contract. We even have an iPad presentation that literally all you do is just flip through the iPad or an Android. You can have whatever you want. Flip through the presentation, and it literally can go through and show you exactly and leads the seller down the path of signing a contract with you. So that's incredible. So getting to the yes, day-to-day operates exactly what to do. But more importantly, understanding that once you get your first deal, understanding that process, and the whole focus immediately is to get that first deal. And then once you get that first deal, is what's the next step? How do you rinse and repeat? How do you make it consistent? How can you turn this from most people that literally that get started, have a full-time job, right? They have a full-time job. So how do you do this around your job, right? How do you do that? And it teaches you how to go through it around your job to go out, and then you turn around, you get 1 year's worth of income in the bank. Now you have the option to quit your job if you want. Imagine that. Take your income, and imagine if you put that much money in the bank from doing this right here, wholesaling houses.
Amazing.
Imagine if you did that, right?
Yeah.
And now after you do that, when you're in the bank, then you can quit your job. Then you go full time. Now you're an entrepreneur, and that's obviously this training and education. Now you're an entrepreneur, and now you scale it to a level that is your wildest dreams. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you're like, I want a house like Dean, I want to blow it up, I want to go crush it, right? If that's what you want to do, right, then it is there for you. It shows you how to go to the next level. And you say, you know what, I want to do 10 deals a month, and I want I want to make $150,000 a month. It will show you how to do it, and you can do it there.
I love your passion. I love your passion. But so think about that. You have the foundational course for me, and this is a course. The reason he gets so pumped up, and I wanted him here today, because we went through every single second of this course. I've never seen a course so detailed. Everything we create is amazing. If you have any of my products, we obsess on it. Sean outdid himself. In fact, if you go to this next slide, he just did 2 brand new videos that we're adding to this course because a couple things recently changed. He literally went in and changed it immediately, and you will continue to add to the course. As he discovers a new way to find a deal, we'll add it to the course. Listen, realistic prices of what these have sold for, $2,494, but we're not done, and you're not gonna pay that. Also, the down market profits. This is the arbitrage. I'm gonna let you say real quick, because I know it's getting late, and I know some of you wanna get enrolled in this course tonight, because this is one of those things that won't be here next week. I just wanna tell you. If you're watching right now and you're thinking about this, don't log off. Don't log off because you're gonna get a laptop possibly. Don't log off because this won't be here next week. So the arbitrage, please share.
So the deal we did last week that I told you we closed on Tuesday, we gave the seller $500. We used this method right here. We literally kept the loan in place of $307. We gave the seller $500, and we turned around, sold it to a buyer, keeping the loan in place at $307, and he put $29,000 down. We made $28,500. This is called the down payment arbitrage. And see, what happens is a lot of leads come in where a seller wants retail, and they have a loan in place and they can't sell. This gives you the next level on how to structure deals with seller financing. I built a $36 million property portfolio of 120 properties with this method without ever putting a mortgage in my own personal name.
Amazing, and you turned it into a course. You get that tonight as bonus number 2. Bonus number 3
I'm actually recording it live on starting March 15th.
And you guys get to be invited. Next bonus is a bi-weekly support calls. I thought this is incredible. We've jumped on those calls for the last 3 weeks. Last 3 times you've been on, unbelievable. Because sometimes you get the immersion of the course and you need ongoing training. You want to ask that question. This guy stays on the line and literally answers your question. Hey, I got this one deal. How much should I pay? What should I do? How do I use Facebook? How do I use Instagram? Dude, I'm so amazed that you stay and answer the questions. This itself is priceless. Imagine having the immersion of this course and then getting this guy answering questions. Also, his presentation that he gives. Now listen, he's a big operation. He's a company. He's not a person doing it himself. He's not a solo entrepreneur. He's got people, so he sends people out in the field, and even if they can't sell that good when they go to the house, he has, like he said, the slide of the presentation on how to get deals at deep discounts. He just has them follow the presentation, paint by the numbers. Yeah.
I just hired a sales guy. He's been with me for 3 weeks. He's used that iPad presentation, and he's locked up. He's got another deal locking up tomorrow, but he's locked up 3 deals close to $100,000 in revenue with that presentation.
Amazing. And you get immediate access to that. As you see, this is one of the most comprehensive of courses we've ever put together, because now is the time. If you're still watching, I know this is a long night. We had a lot to share tonight. It's the first time him and I have ever been on camera together. Yeah. He's sharing his style, I'm sharing my style. But I want you to have this. I want you to have the capabilities to thrive on this way down. If you bring up this screen, that's all the stuff. And we didn't put prices on those valuable things because they've never been sold. They're a part of his high level masterminds and stuff. I'm not gonna make up a fake price. These are real prices, over $3,100 tonight. If you click the link on the page, you are going to get the entire process. You're going to get the accelerated success formula and the foundation. Nice. You're going to get his entire down market profits and the 8 modules to go from beginner to expert with the KPIs, the process, the paint by the numbers. You're going to get the arbitrage bonus. You're going to get the new updated videos. You're going to get to learn from this guy bi-weekly, all of this, and not $3,000, not $1,000. We decided to do it for $797. So everybody watching tonight can say yes. Right now, do it. Click the link on this page. And there's even a 3-pay option to make it more affordable. If you're still watching, a long night, I know. Maybe real estate wasn't on your mind. But if taking control of your life to protect you, protect your family, when the market is changing, if $797 can be that foundation, then that's why I'm here tonight. That's why I took this was my night. I haven't seen my kids in a week because I've been traveling. I wanted to be with my kids tonight, and I said, no, my DG family needs this. Sean prepped, he did most of this prep for me. He put the pieces together. He's obsessed and worked with my team for 2 months putting this package together, and originally, no joke, Sean suggested to our team that we charge $1,997 for this package, and I said, no, let's just make it irresistible to get people in the game. And here's the cool part. If you sign up right now, while we're still on, I know it's late if you're on the East Coast, I'm going to include 2 tickets to my yearly Edge event. If you know anything about the Edge, it's been sold out 10 years in a row. It's sold out so much that we're now going to do 2 Edge events a year. I bring in the top trainers on the planet, from Rachel Hollis. Maybe you don't know who she is, but look her online. She's got the #1 book of the year. Her and Michelle Obama are fighting for the #1 book. She's an on-fire woman, powerful entrepreneur. My buddy Anthony Trucks, Trent Shelton, Brendan Burchard. I bring in the best trainers, success trainers on the planet. People like Sean Terry, my dear friend Matt Larson, who's another amazing real estate investor. Yep. I bring everybody together at this event. That's why it's sold out 10 years in a row. You enroll now. You take action. Overcome the fear. I'll include 2 tickets and you can come to the next Edge event. Sweet. Of course, it comes with an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. We want you to be so happy, it's ridiculous. We want you to think you ripped us off. All of that. That's everything you see. If you brought up that slide, accelerated success formula, the entire down market profits, updated training, bi-weekly training, the arbitrage masterclass, custom covert intuitive presentation, which is amazing. I love that name. 2 tickets to the Edge, $4,000 value. Yes, $797. And I want you to, we're going to do a little Q&A. We'll come back and do Q&A. And we got to give away the laptop too. And you go to deanscourse.com if you're watching online. deanscourse.com if you're watching online. But here's what I want to share. I want to share this. When it comes to a point like this, there's 2 types of people watching right now, and I know this. I just taught this on stage a couple days ago. If you're like me, you're an emotional buyer. I'm an emotional buyer. If I go to a car dealership and I like a car, I'm like, I'll take that. Can I leave in a half hour? I want it. If I watch a webcast like this and I'm like, you know what? I want to make more money. I want real estate. I'll take it. And then I take everything else they offer. Like, I want total immersion. But I'm an emotional buyer. And some of you right now are clicking the link and you know you want this. You're clicking the link and you're going to enroll. That's you emotional buyers. And I can't wait to have you in the program. I can't wait to see the results and hear the feedback. But then there's also logical buyers watching right now. And logical buyers are the type that when they want to buy a car, they go to 3 dealerships and they test drive 6 cars. And then they go home and talk to their wife or maybe talk to their husband. They go online, they research it. doesn't mean anything's wrong. Both of them are perfect. That's who you are. I ask the audience this, it's always 50-50. Hell yeah, I buy right away. And the person next to him's like, I know he does, that's crazy, right? But I want to talk to you logical buyers because I'm betting the emotional buyers are clicking the link right now. Logically, I just want to share that you've probably missed opportunities in the past because you overthink. Because what happens is you'll never be more excited to get enrolled as you are right now. You just spent an hour and almost a half with us. This is the time where you're like, got those little butterflies, like, should I do this? Do I have enough time? Could this really work for me? You're thinking of all these things, and then you might say to yourself, you know what, I'll think about it tomorrow. Or let me check if I could fit it in my schedule. You won't. What'll happen is you'll get sucked back into your day-to-day. Doesn't mean your day-to-day is bad, but we get in this routine. We're like in a hypnotic rhythm of life, and you go, oh yeah, I want to do that thing Sean and Dean said. And then a week from now it'll go by, you'll forget about it, and then you'll see the news in 6 months, or you'll check your bank account in 6 months, and the money's not there, or you hate the job still, or you hate the commute, or the economy's crashing. You're like, damn it, I should have. And this particular opportunity won't be here. I promise you, if you come back in a week from now, this course and stuff might be for sale, but not for this price, not with all these crazy bonuses, and not at this perfect time in history. So I'm going to tell you, again, if you know my values, you know what I stand for. I wouldn't have this guy on if I didn't know this was the course you need. If you're ready for another level of life, if you're still here, then get this course in your hand. Get the entire package for a massive discount tonight. Click the link below and get it. I know we got some Q&A. Anything you want to share about the course before we do a little Q&A here?
I think one thing that, and I go back to where I was at the point where you are, listening in the car, I literally had a decision to make. I didn't have the money. I literally had, my wife's $250, Capital One card, and my $250. That's all I had, and I was like, what, do I do it or not? And I came to the decision. I had all these things going. I never bought a course for. What if it's a scam? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work for me? And the bottom line is it came down to a couple different things. And that decision is literally, that decision, if I wouldn't have made that decision, I wouldn't be here today with this incredible gentleman. I wouldn't be talking to you incredible people. I wouldn't have the lifestyle that is just amazing. So we go back to a decision point is what changes your entire life. So let me ask you this. Where were you? Because you're at a crossroad right now. You might not know it, but you are. But if you make a decision and you just continue doing what you've always done, right? Think where you might be 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 years from now, right? Doing the same old thing. Guess what? 3, 4, 5 years from now, all you got to do is look back where you were 3 years ago, 3, 5 years ago. Like we are today, you drive in the same car, you live in the same lifestyle, you have the same amount of problems, same amount of money in your bank account. So if you look at that, where you were 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you project that into the future, if you absolutely do nothing and you stay on that path and you make no decision, because no decision is a decision. Right? And you make no decision, and you do that, and you go down that path, 3 to 5 years from now, you're going to be in the same spot. And guess what? You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to you for your success to go out and have a better life. And see, here's the thing. You could take the new path, a different path. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. It's different. I'm teaching my daughter how to drive in a car right now, and it's uncomfortable for me. I know it's for her, but she's there fumbling around and trying to do it, and she's kind of all nervous and stuff, and it's all. But listen, the bottom line is this new path will change your life. I know, because it's happened for thousands of other people that I know personally. It's happened for him, and it's happened for me. And it definitely can't happen for you. There's not one excuse that you could tell me that it couldn't happen for you. The bottom line is this, is that you have a decision right now, and you could either A, be in the same exact spot you are a couple years from now, or you could take the new path, and it's scary, and it's different, but it's exhilarating. It's amazing. And your life will change for the better. I promise you that.
Dude, I love your passion. You're on fire tonight. I love watching you. We got some questions. I know we ran a little late, but we're going to run some Q&A. And do me a favor, Tanner, text and check on my kids because we're running long and they need a babysitter. How cool is that? You know we're here speaking from the heart. I left just to be with you, just to share this tonight because time is of the essence. I have my yearly event coming up. I have 2 more trips I have to do. If I didn't do it tonight, I told you, I couldn't do it for at least 45 days. And I said, squeeze it in. I got in late last night. I prepared today. Sean's been preparing, working with my team to put this together for you. So a couple quick questions. Let's do it because I promised we'd do Q&A.
Okay.
Is it possible to do outside of the United States?
Absolutely. I'm telling you, we've got guys out of the United States, in Canada, that are flipping houses in Nashville that are crushing, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in Canada, flipping in this. We have a guy that in the military, he was literally in the military, traveling in different countries, waking up at different time zones, doing deals in the United States, and absolutely crushing it. So yes, you can.
Love it. Kevin asked, how do I get access? So just so you know, when you're done, click, you get enrolled, you'll get a couple videos from me setting you up. The video will show you and have a link where you can click and get immediate access to this and everything, the accelerated success formula, the calls, the course. I mean, you could be in this tonight, literally. And if you see the first part of the training that I put in the front of your course,
absolutely.
It's the foundation for success. If you know me, you're watching my online, you watch my books, you are going to be freaked out, vibrating with energy in the first part, and then you get to his process.
Can I say one thing? The calls that I do every 2 weeks, those training calls that I do and stuff, I can say and I don't think we talked about it, it's limited access just because I am a fanatical about answering every single question online. We can't have 10,000 people, and this is the first time we've done this together. Can't have 10,000 people on there and be on call for 5 hours answering questions. I get to see my kids too. So that is limited. So if you are deadly serious and you want to take advantage of this and you really want to be able to plug in, then please get started. Click the link below. Get started right now because that is limited and we'll have to cut it off at some point.
So Joey asked, is this different than my past courses? Well, I have a course called Real Estate Profits from Home. Amazing course on wholesaling. But here's what I know. I have a coach. I go to Strategic Coach. I go to Genius Network. I'm in a group with Tony Robbins. I'm in a group with my buddy Evan Pagan. I have like 5 different masterminds that I go to. And even though we talk about the same stuff, they're unique, they're different. So this is a course on wholesaling, but it's through the eyes of a guy that's doing more deals, 200 deals a year. And one thing I have to say about Sean, I have to be honest, he goes granular even more than I do in my courses. Sometimes I stop and go, I know you got this, go for it. And I have massive success, so I know it works. Sean leaves no stone unturned. He goes, well, do this and point it here and make this call, say this exact, I mean, you go more granular than anyone I've ever seen. It's the reason we're here. Again, if you're one of my followers, you know I never endorse anyone. Like I never have someone sitting next to me. I don't endorse other people's products. That's why we merge these together. It's one of the greatest real estate courses I've ever seen put together. We work together to make it the best, adding my stuff around it. So yes, it's on wholesaling. We've done another course on wholesaling. That course is amazing. If you got it, congratulations. This is something different, amazing, and honestly, a little more detailed.
I can tell you definitely won't fall asleep during my training. You definitely will not. And I am very simplistic. I'm not this, whatever, but because I didn't go to college or whatever. I make it as simplistic and as easy to follow as possible, and I break stuff down in a simple manner. So
awesome. Jessica asks, what is the risk with wholesaling?
Well, the interesting thing is because it's different from fix and flip where there's massive risk, you're buying the property and putting a ton of money. It's different from buy and hold because you're putting essentially a mortgage on it and holding it. When it comes to wholesaling, the risk is very minimal because the risk is literally, if you do free methods like Craigslist, like for sale by owner sites, ringless voicemail is incredibly cheap to get started. Your risk is essentially any money you put into marketing that's going to go out and spend and put that money. But we point you in directions that we know that the marketing works and it's been a proven method, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel. So.
And here's a good one. I have a real estate license. Can I still do it?
Absolutely. See, here's the thing with a real estate license. It's almost like wearing 2 different hats. As a realtor, which are phenomenal, and I love working with realtors, and realtors do great as wholesalers. Why? Is because as a realtor, you represent buyers and sellers in a transaction. That's it. And as working for yourself, you're not representing anybody, you're acting on your own behalf. That means you're contracting the property on your own behalf. You're not representing anybody, and then you're selling on your own behalf. So it's almost like a best of both worlds because if you run across a lead that comes in and they don't want to sell wholesale, you can list the property. Some of the best people, some of the most successful people I know have a real estate license, and not that you need it at all, because I don't have a real estate license.
Neither do I.
But I know. But they're able to basically be able to monetize either a retail sale where they can sell it and then represent that seller and make a commission, or wholesale the property.
Yeah. And then the last question is, this is a cool one, Liz. How much do you pay the title company?
Title company is about roughly 1% of the transaction. So it's a 1%, $100,000 on a house, maybe $1,000.
Yeah, awesome. And here's the cool part. You're not paying any of those people
you're not
unless the deal happens,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like you got to pay the title company and pay someone. You're not paying anybody until a deal happens. And if you got to give a little money to a title company or somebody,
No, you never have to give money to.
Oh, that's right, because
it comes out of the.
Yeah, it comes out of the escrow.
It comes out of the. We're all excited here.
Yeah.
It comes out of the buyer.
That's right.
The buyer brings in the money, and you have no money out of pocket.
It doesn't matter because you have your set fee.
I never have ever written a check to the title company ever for a transaction on millions and millions of dollars of transactions ever. So the answer is no.
Man, drop the mic. Boom. Hey, guys, thank you so much tonight. Here's the deal. We're getting ready to get off here. I am literally running out to go grab my kids. I miss them. This is why I put this together. This isn't a joking matter. The market has turned. Start looking at the news. If you're looking for a realistic way, I don't know anything better to get started than real estate. If you're doing deals, you want to go faster, learn from this guy. If you want to get started, why wouldn't you learn from this guy? If you want to take your income and have that sense of security during this change, I don't think there's a better thing. That's why we made this happen tonight. And you have a limited opportunity. First off, this offer won't be here next week. Not at this price, not with all these absolute insane bonuses. His bi-weekly calls, you want to be on them. Don't let them get maxed out. You want to be on them. So real quick, you get the accelerated success formula. That's the foundation for real sustainable wealth. One of my favorite courses. We've lumped that in. You get the down market profits with Sean Terry. Everything you need to know to do what was on that whiteboard, to find the deals, to lock them up, to know what they're worth, to price them, to hand them off to cash buyers and get paid to do it. You get his updated training because some things change, and if it changes again, he'll keep updating it. You get his down payment arbitrage class. That's something I've never seen that anywhere. I've never seen that training anywhere. Truth is, never done it, not even once.
Yeah,
so that is amazing. He's been telling me the stories. Our attorney has the proof of him doing these deals. You have the bi-weekly calls. If you hurry up, you get them from him. You get live. He'll answer your questions bi-weekly, and you get the custom, covert, intuitive presentation. It's how to sell using his slides that work so you can replicate yourself as you start to scale. And last, I'm going to give you 2 tickets to the Edge. That's $1,000 just to come to the sold out Edge. And there's 2 events a year. We'll get you the dates to make sure the one that fits for you. All of that has a value of over $4,000 because we didn't inflate it. We didn't say, hey, because Sean gets $30,000. If you want to be in his mastermind, it's $30,000 for his highest level mastermind. Am I right with that? It's 30.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's $30,000. Or you could get a course where he shares it all. Listen, I just started a new mastermind with Tony Robbins, and it's $250,000 a year. I have masterminds from $25,000 to $250,000. So this is our way we can package our knowledge, package our wisdom, and give it to you at a price everyone can afford. Guys, you know you can get the entire thing tonight for $797. Is even a 3-pay option. And I'm going to give away the laptop here in a moment, and tell them about the PayPal.
You got to listen to this. This is amazing. And we've just basically discovered this. But there are people that came to us and said, I want access, but I don't have $797. What do I do? I want to have access. I want to do this. What can I do? So we discovered this, and there's a single mom out of Tampa, and she had 3 kids, got up and going. She really wanted to get access. So we discovered literally PayPal credit. Now PayPal, they will actually give you credit. So on the order page, you'll see a little button, the PayPal credit. They'll literally, virtually, accept anybody. They'll give you instant credit. They'll be able to get the course instantly. You'll be able to get the $797. You don't have to do anything. You don't make any payments or anything like that for 6 months. You know what the beautiful thing is? The beautiful thing is what she did. She went out. She used our techniques, basically step by step. Went out, made $7,400 on her first deal in less than 30 days. Paid back the course and literally got the course for free. And now
amazing.
Her life.
I'm gonna say we're not saying you're gonna go out and do a deal for 30 days. I gotta say that every single time. But these are real documented opportunities. We've never had the PayPal credit. Sean's actually turned my team onto it because he doesn't want anybody to miss out on this. So you can click the link below. Do it right now before this is gone. I know it's getting late. Get it done tonight. This is not going to be here in a week from now. I'd love to have you on board. I can't wait for you to see the accelerated success formula. Wait till you see how this guy teaches. He's going to light you up. All the amazing bonuses. Now let's give away the laptop. Are we picking somebody? Oh, want to do a random? Yeah. Right now, do a thumbs up. This is very technical. Right now, do a thumbs up or say yes right now in the comments below. Thumbs up or yes. I'm so glad you turned us on to that PayPal credit because I know some people are dying to do this right now and like, well, how do I do it?
There are people. We have so many stories, and I can't. I mean, PayPal literally extends credit, almost like because here's the thing: most businesses usually get credit. They apply for a loan to start their business. 90% of the businesses go out there and they go get a $200,000, $300,000, $100,000. That's how they start their business. Why wouldn't you want to do the same for yourself?
Pretty awesome. Are they coming in? Are they too fast? You're just going to have to, we're random, just so you know, it couldn't be any more random. We're just going to pick someone, they're coming in.
Here comes Jeremy.
Okay, here we go, here we go.
Go, Jeremy.
All right, ready, drum roll. Rob Penna, you just won my previous laptop. I got a new one, you get the old one. It's still awesome, it's an Apple, it's killer. My team will reach out to you, get you the information. Guys, thank you so much for being with me tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be honest with you, I felt off tonight. This is not how I usually feel on camera. I usually feel like I'm in flow. I've been doing so many things, so I hope that I didn't.
You did great.
I hope I didn't do you a disservice.
Dude.
Yeah, I hope I didn't do you a disservice and not be clear tonight like I usually am. This is my heart. This is my soul. Self-education is what changed my life. My guidance counselor said, if you don't go to college, maybe you can get a job at a factory, at a gas station. There was nothing in between. She never said that there was self-education, that I could learn through courses. I could learn from other people like a Sean Terry who was already doing it. Self-education changed my life, and it's why I'm so passionate. It's why I asked you to come here tonight, and it's why I put Sean here and offering this course for you. If you're ready for another level, you're ready for something different, this is a really amazing course. Click the link below. Get enrolled tonight before you miss out. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
God bless. Take care.